In 1914, just after the outbreak of the First World War, Germany had a cunning idea. They needed to ensure naval superiority in the Atlantic, but there was no way they could manufacture enough new battleships in order to contest what was traditionally Britain's inviolate domain. So they took the SMS Cap Trafalgar, an 18,700 luxury ocean liner, and retrofitted it with two 4.1-inch guns and 6 one-pound pom-pom autocannons, and also had one of its funnels removed so that this colossal Frankenstein's monster of a ship would appear, for all intents and purposes, to be a cruiser under the command of the British Merchant Navy. The ruse complete, it would prowl the South Atlantic under false flags. Dressed as a British ship, it could approach the British supply line and at the last minute fly the German colors before wreaking havoc and undermining the until now unimpeachable British Navy. They even renamed it the RMS Carmania, RMC standing for Royal Mail Ship, a type of fast steamer used to carry international post to complete the illusion and ensure that it would never be recognized as being formerly a German passenger cargo ship until it was far, far too late. Military historians generally concur. And it was a bold but brilliant plan. At a fraction of the time and cost of a new custom-built battleship, the newly christened RMS Carmania should cost the British fleets thousands of lives and millions of tons of lost ships before it could be reliably identified. Except for one tiny problem. On the 14th of September 1914, after a fruitless first voyage ending with no sightings of any targets, and being forced to refuel empty-handed, the RMS Carmania met its first ever opponent just off the coast of Trinidad. It was the RMS Carmania, a 19,500 TN ocean liner retrofitted with 8 4.7-inch guns and deployed as a cruiser by the real British Merchant Navy. From 4 miles away, the real RMS crew realized that the ship they were looking at was not in fact the ship that they were standing on and opened fire. It took 2 hours of vicious age-of-sail-style broadsides, but eventually the doppelganger was sunk with the maimed victor limping away under escort to Brazil for repairs. ***. Bonus facts I discovered while answering comments. ***FACT1. Towards the end of the fight, the first ship to arrive was a German ship called the SS Kronprinz Wilhelm. At this point, the British RMS Carmania was barely afloat, holed beneath the waterline, and likely to be finished off by a stiff breeze. But the Kronprinz Wilhelm just turned and left without getting involved. Turns out, the Kronprinz had been listening to SOS calls from both ships and knew that the RMS Carmania had sunk, but wasn't sure which was which. Rather than investigate and likely get caught by other British ships answering the same calls, they decided it might be a trap and left them to it. Because of this, the Carmania was rescued and went on to sail for another 18 years. Fact 2. The RMS Carmania had a sister ship called the Coronia, and together they were known as the Pretty Sisters. This was publicly known information. The Cap Trafalgar was deliberately disguised as a pretty sister, based on the designs and appearance. So it's not even as though the Cap Trafalgar were deliberately disguised as the Carmania. It was 50/50ths. That they could have impersonated the Coronia, save for the name painted on the front of the hull. The outcome could have been very different, save for a coin flip between 2 names. Fact 3. The RMS Carmania had gone to Trinidad because they knew that islands nearby were being used as staging posts for German ships, and the first they encountered was another retrofitted ship that had been sent there to hunt cargo ships. Effectively, the RMS Carmania was a secretly retrofitted cargo ship, hunting another secretly retrofitted cargo ship that was itself secretly hunting cargo ships, but couldn't find any except for the one that wasn't a cargo ship anymore. And who knew they were there anyway, so it wasn't a secret anymore. Spy versus spy barely begins to cover it.